Welcome to my channel. My name's Deb, and I am here to help guide others to find their soul essence. We're awakening to our soul's true purpose. We're removing masks. We're identifying roles that we have been placed into, and we're illuminating our soul. We're illuminating our gifts. We're uncovering our wounds, and we're finding that's baseline joy, that baseline peace. If you have found this channel, if this video has crossed your path, it's not by mistake. The energy, the wisdom, the little magical synchronicities that happen in your life are not coincidence. Now, if you're new to my channel, learning the difference between coincidence and synchronicity is going to blow your mind because there is no difference. Right? And so this channel is about understanding how much effect we actually have on our own reality. But first, we have to usually dive in layers. If we were to think of our human avatars as electrical systems, we are only capable of so much wattage, and everybody's different. And as we awaken, we are actually expanding the vessel's capacity to accept higher voltages, new energies, more layers. But it is a process, and it can happen overnight. Definitely can happen overnight. One day, not even overnight. It could happen like that. But for the majority of people, we have a lot of layers we have to uncover. We are advanced computer systems, basically. So we have processes, applications, computer programs, viruses. We have things within us that in order to have that light shine through, we got to figure out what's blocking that light. We're not broken. We don't need to heal. There's nothing to fix. It's already in there, right? It's already in there. We just got to uncover it. And we want to illuminate it. We want to find that inner light. And so that's what this channel is about. It's finding your inner light. My name's Deb. If any of this sounds great to you, like the video, comment below if you're ready to find your light, and subscribe to get notified of the daily posts. And also, I've been coming on live nightly at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So tune in for that. It's great to meet who the people are and the community, because we are building a worldwide community, and it's the internet gives us this beautiful gift to be able to do so. So, with that said, going forward, today's method, we're going to talk a little bit more about illuminating our soul and what that really requires. What does it require to illuminate our soul? The first step is to see that we might not be who we think we are. Majority of people are operating from a default program. They are an NPC, non player character. They are not the main character. They are not the first person player. And 333 when I said that. So ask yourself, have you been living an NPC life, and is your main character starting to call out to you, starting to say, hey, I'm in here and I want to be seen. I can feel that there's a bigger, better world out there, and I want to expand. I'm getting charged up with higher energies, higher vibrations, and I want to be able to feel that higher electrical current. If that's you, then this channel is for you, because it's about uncovering what's hiding our light. And we do that in layers. We need to take the truth in layers. And so there's different layers. There's going to be our body, our physical layer. There's going to be our spiritual layer. There's going to be our mental layer, our soul layer. And I actually do have like 5 layers that I have written down somewhere in a very specific way. And as time goes on, I will get more familiar with learning them all, because all these programs that are being created out of light and love are going to change the world. And you, as subscribers to my channels, are going to be some of the first people to have access to it. So I'm super excited for that, because the world needs it. Just a moment. I realized through watching some of my videos, I should probably test with microphone distance. I've never done that. I've just noticed that sometimes the videos, the sound is really inconsistent and worse and better. And so, hey, I guess I have a new task. Okay, I'm gonna look down at my notes for a moment. This video is. I like to keep them a little bit longer just so we can dive into subjects a little bit deeper. And so with this, we're kind of talking about illuminating our soul. The art of deep seeing is what I have written down. So the goal of that is to create space internally and externally. And the art of seeing ourselves and the art of seeing others. And through all the background work that I've been doing on this program, there's something that just came to mind that I haven't written down anywhere. And one of the things that helped me the greatest in this journey was when I started to see others more clearly. I started to see others with compassion and curiosity. And that started with driving. I lived in the city at one point, and I definitely took on a personality of road rage in a sense. Oh, I'm better than everyone else. Well, how come no one else knows how to drive? And it wasn't great. And like there was a moment when one of my young children noticed something that happened on the road, and they made a comment that was a road rage comment. And as a parent, leave it to the children, being sponges that they are, to reflect back your negative qualities that will hit you so hard you're like, whoa, okay. And so from that point forward, I kind of just started adopting the idea that you never know what someone else is going through. And then I started just being curious and making a game of it, that every vehicle I saw, they're all their own player. And it's like if I were to go to a library or a movie theater and see all these titles of movies or all these books on the shelves, and each one has its own story, like we don't look at that book and be like, how dare you, book? You aren't the topic that I like. I don't like you. Like, we don't do that. We look at that book and like, wow, what would that book tell me? Where would that story take me? How would that movie make me feel? Like, we get excited about it. And so I just started putting that type of energy into strangers in other vehicles. And then even if you notice, you start looking at their faces, and everyone's in their own world. They have no idea anyone's actually looking at them, even though at any given moment they could have 20, 50 eyes on them. And it's a very unique experience because then you start seeing people differently, and you really do start kind of looking at everyone's different facial expressions and their energies. And are they singing to music, or do they look like they're having a stressful time as well? And then you start noticing other people with the road rage, and you end up being more patient for them and letting them in and allowing them to continue on with their rage, realizing that a few extra seconds isn't that big of a deal. And actually, that few extra seconds and a little bit of patience will probably save your life or someone else's. This world is a very magical place. And if you have found this channel, prepare for magical things to begin happening in your life. Because as you begin this journey, you start connecting to your light, and the world can really get flipped upside down sometimes. So you want to make sure that you're strong and grounded in who you are. And through having compassion through other people, it really allowed the criticism to be toned down in my life. And through criticism, releasing criticism of others, that allowed myself, it's because I was holding myself to such a high degree of expectations and perfectionism. I was like, how am I supposed to, like, no one else is doing it, but I have to do it. So, like, if I have to do it, why aren't they doing it? And if they aren't doing it and they have more than me, then why do I have to do it in order to just get equal to them? Like, that was a mindset that I was in so long, and it was so unhealthy and so sad. And I want to be able to help others that have gone through these mindsets, because they're not fun. And we have the internet and we have help. That's the greatest thing about having the internet, is we have help. We can even talk to ChatGPT for a friend, and like ChatGPT is not an end all know all, and it's not an intelligence per se, but it reflects back to you. And so, just in the same way that journaling kind of reflects back your state of mind, AI can do that as well. So, like, we have tools available to help us process things. But in the aspect of illuminating and seeing the deepness of who we are, that's about creating a space internally and externally. And with that space, we're creating space to feel seen, right? To feel seen by others, but also to be allowed to be seen. If I were to give you an exercise to sit with someone for 3 minutes in silence and just stare at each other, how uncomfortable would that be? Like, you're not sharing any deep, dark secrets. You're just sitting there in your presence, being seen for the whole of what you are. 1111, as I was saying that. So try that exercise. Let me know if you're going to try it. Comment below that you're going to try the 3-minute exercise. And it's not a staring contest. You can blink. You don't have to be a statue. If you have an itch, you can itch it. But just do try to just 3 minutes, hard determination, as if you were meditating on the other person. And then see what you feel like sharing. Because at that moment, it's not about what that person is doing or what they have done in their life or what they're succeeding at. It's about just what you see in that moment. And that's what creating space is about. I could really go on this subject, and I wanted to go on this subject, but for some reason I'm feeling called to end it there. So I'm going to end it there. Go try the exercise. It's a beautiful exercise, and it really does allow you to see how your nervous system handles just being still with the present moment. You might be surprised at what you find. And if you want to come back and share with what you find, I would love that. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. My name's Deb. Thank you for joining me. Little magical bits of wisdom. Tune in 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for some live chat. And other than that, subscribe, like, comment, all those great things. Have a blessed day. Remember your inner light. Give yourself the task throughout the day of noticing when you're being critical of something. Is that criticism blocking your light? Is there darkness there that is not allowing the light to shine through? Question your criticism and come back and let me know. I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, have a wonderful day.